Hello everybody, Terry Hashimoto here with the new BodiTrak Balance UI for medical applications. What you're going to see today is the new T10 chip into the BodiTrak pressure mat, the sensor. And the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your UI, your computer, and you're going to look for data port. And under data port you will see, I will show it to you here, I'll bring it up, is this data port. And the data port will be connected by going to BodiTR with the @K. BodiTrak. Once you're connected, then you're merely connected. As you do, stand on the pressure mat, and you will see the wireless connectivity to the PC and or your Mac and or your iPad. As soon as you open up the software, you will see a feature in the top left-hand corner of the user interface saying Patients. It'll prompt you there. And I'd like you to add your patient's name. This will allow you to very easily retrieve the patient's name and all the data that you save. So we're just going to put Terry H. The email, you can put that in if you like, the patient's ID if you like, the weight if you like. Well, I just lost a little bit of weight, so let's put in 208. Save that data, and now if you notice in the top left-hand side of the screen, that data will populate on always saved under Terry H. Okay, so in the assessment stage, now as soon as the patient stands on the mat, it'll auto-center. And this is an important feature, so I'm going to get the patient to stand as still as they can. If you don't like where the center of pressure is, you hit the top left-hand square, and this will auto-center it. You can see it moves it to a more centered position. If I want to change the tone of the feet, I can increase the darkness, or I can make it lighter with the minus. Now this is important. This little squiggle up here, when you're actually getting the patient to move, so if you move a little bit, when you're actually beginning to save data, if you don't want that trail to follow the COP, then you can hit it to turn it off, or you can turn it on. There's an alarm feature here, so I'm going to get the patient to stand still. Now in this alarm, I can adjust this to be bigger or smaller. So I'm going to get the patient to move outside of that range, for example. And now you'll hear an alarm. So you can either make this either an objective or something that you want to be notified of if the patient gets too far away from where you want them to be. So you can make this bigger and or smaller. If I want to change the circles so that they don't appear, the graphs, I can take this on or off, and I can remove the alarm. So these are the features in the new portion of the assessment stage. Underneath the assessments, we have the guided portion of the user interface, and you can see the MCTSIB test. And this is 4 tests where you have the patient standing on the mat right now. And we would do 4 tests, one with the eyes open, standing on a flat surface, feet together in their bare feet and or socks. And then we would start the test, do this for 30 seconds, hit stop, and you would see the data would populate in the total sway, the maximum sway, the average left, the average right, the average toe, and the average heel, and over time remaining. Then we would close that, and we would move on to the next test, which would be condition number 2 with the arms crossed, eyes closed, and we would do this again. And we will do it. And because of time considerations, we'll just stop the test, and you will see that in this test, the maximum sway was 3.27 inches, max sway was 0.77 in one direction, and the left, right, toe, and heel again. Close that. We're going to go to the next test. So we're on to number 3, which is eyes open on an Airex stock. Condition 3 with the Airex, what's really important to know with the BodiTrak sensor is that we can actually put the sensor directly on top of the Airex. This makes a huge difference in the type of accuracy that we can get. Get the patients to come back onto the Airex. Just look at the feet only here, please. Now we're going to go to the UI, and you're going to see the feet populate with the pressure. And we have the condition number 3 to start the test. Stop it. And now you can see the total sway, again, max sway, left, right, toe, and heel. Condition 4 with the patient's eyes closed on the Airex sensor on top of the Airex, of course. Now we're going to take this data and record it for whatever length of time we want to do it. In most cases, we're going to use 30 seconds. The most important part that we can look at. We can now look at the ratio between eyes open, eyes closed, standing on a flat surface, eyes open to eyes closed on a perturbed surface. We can look at the maximum deviation in any one direction. We can look at the average weights, which side. We can look at the average weights toe to heel. And again, we did not do the complete 30 seconds, but we can do whatever length of time that we want to set this up for. So I'd like to point something out absolutely mind-blowing. Not only are we wirelessly sending this information to the PC or a Mac, I'm actually capturing it on the tablet as well. So I can be monitoring this from a remote location. So we have capabilities now beyond comprehension in terms of what we were able to do just a year ago. Under the guided portion of the UI is also a physical training portion. And the physical balance portion is very unique because you can use any 3 exercises you wish here. In this case, we're using the new swing balance bars, and we can capture the sway over a period of time, hit start, as the patient moves the bar. We can stop it, and we'll measure the total sway, the max sway, the average left and right, toe and heel during that physical training activity. You could also use this for a squat, lifting weights, or whatever it might be. So you've got 3 slides that you can now capture physical training in addition to the MCTSIB test. In the gamification part of this software, we've got 3 games: Avoid, Collect, and Asteroid. So we're going to go to Collect, and the goal here is for the patient to move sideways to collect as many balls as they can over a given period of time. And if you want to, you can adjust the size of the paddle. For example, you're going to change the width of the paddle, greater or lesser. I would make it smaller in this case, down to 24, 25, 20. If I want to change the paddle height, I can do that to make it smaller or bigger. 5. I'll save that. If I want to slow it down, I can do that. I'm going to do that again. And you can see the paddle size has changed quite a bit. And this will make the game more difficult, obviously. Okay, and then after and you can run it out, Ben. Let's run out for the... Okay, so as you can see here, the score was 10, the time used was 30, ball size was 20, paddle height 5, and paddle width 20. So very good way for you to be able to use pressure mapping now for gamification, and also to quantify your results in terms of being able to move quicker side to side. And we have another game that will allow you to move anterior posterior basis as well. So as you can see, we've got a lot of wireless connectivity going on here today, and I'm going to show you something because a lot of you already have a BodiTrak2 pressure mat, and you may be using it for squats, you may be using it for training, you may be using it for tennis, and some of you even for hockey. But today I'm going to show you something that we've never been able to show you, and I'm very proud that we can. So I'm just going to hit save for 10 seconds. I'm going to simulate a golf swing. I'm going to simulate a tennis serve. Imagine me playing tennis. And I'm going to simulate a left-handed hockey shot. And let's take a look at all the... Oh, look, come on. Okay, so let's take a look at all 3 swings captured with one 10-second period. There's a simulated golf swing. There's a tennis serve coming up. And there's a slap shot coming up. All with the center of pressure trace, all with the variant velocity chart, all with, if you want to change the chart to be distance over X, if you want to change it to break the center of pressure into its 2 components, and you can scale it by going up or downer, larger or smaller. Very effective. Terry Hashimoto, just giving you a basic understanding of how to use the user interface with the new BodiTrak balance software.